Just minutes ago, President Obama approved a disaster declaration for West Virginia. 9 counties are dealing with a chemical spill. It contaminated the water supply. Up to 300,000 people are being told not to touch the tap water.
A chemical spill in the Elk River may have contaminated the drinking water. A federal investigation has been launched into how this happened.
The 300,000 or so residents that have been affected by this spill are told not to drink the water, not even to wash their hands with it.
People are unable to use water for anything. That means no showering, no shaving, no morning coffee.
For safety, we would just ask that everyone please do not use any tap water.
Tonight, the state has ordered the company believed to be responsible for this chemical spill to cease and desist and to inspect all its tanks.
The chemical began leaking from a hole in a storage tank in the facility behind me. The Department of Environmental Protection is still trying to figure out how that hole got there.
Authorities say 7,500 gallons of a toxic chemical used to process coal leaked into the Elk River on Thursday from Freedom Industries, a company just upstream from a water treatment plant. The toxic spill poisoning the water that serves 300,000 people.
The chemical leak is unacceptable. We do need to look at it to make sure that this kind of incident does not happen again.
It was clear almost immediately that no one was prepared for something like that to happen.
This was not handled well, in my opinion, at multiple levels.
When we don't have water, it creates a serious situation.
I was over at the Capitol and I remember coming back and smelling something in the air, but not really thinking anything of it.
I was live on the air when the governor's first tweet went out basically announcing that this had happened.
I don't think anyone had any clue what was going on. We just knew that there was a leak at Freedom and that residents weren't supposed to use water at all. Of course, having reported this and living in Charleston, we were just as affected as anyone else.
Our staff, our reporters, their families, many of them, I think nearly all of them, they lived in apartments and in homes where they didn't have water either. So this was a story that they were covering, but they were also experiencing firsthand.
The first 3 days after the spill, people were coming to work unshowered, basically cleaning up as best you could with like baby wipes or whatever towels you had laying around that you could clean yourself with. Bottled water, bar soap, and a washcloth was about the best you could do.
I think it added an additional sense of urgency to the way the story was reported, not just in our newsroom, but in all of the newsrooms in the Kanawha Valley and the 9 affected counties.
I think West Virginia Public Broadcasting established itself in the digital and social media sphere in some capacity because of the chemical spill.
I think it's one of the best examples I've seen of the way social media very quickly engages large numbers of people and can give quick snippets of information, updates to a continuing story in a very effective way.
Journalists aren't scientists necessarily. You know, we take what they say and try to distill it down, which is oftentimes really, really difficult work. It was difficult work during the chemical spill in Charleston. It's a challenge with this project with the riffles and the sensors, the Streamlab project.
In the Innovator in Residence program, we're always looking at a way to do experimental reporting with new technology, but we're also always looking for what is the news hook? What are the pressing issues of the day? And for us in West Virginia, the chemical spill in Charleston.
There's a couple of things that limit the value of science, and most notable among those is transferring that information, making that information become part of everyday life. One of the really exciting things about this project in the College of Media is that it is taking a step, maybe it's a small step for science discovery, but it's a huge step in linking people to the science, and that is critical.
What we're doing is making something that could be an early warning system. The EPA and local governments can't monitor every stretch of every body of water the whole time, right? but a whole bunch of citizens with pretty cheap sensors and Gatorade bottles could.
Sensor journalism is absolutely here to stay. And the reason that is because it's actually part of this other ecosystem, which is called the Internet of Things, and some people call it the Internet of Everything. But what that basically means is we have all of these sensing technologies coming into play that extract data from everything. That includes smart objects, but it also includes our environment.
Scientists like me, we can sample streams every day, all day, everywhere, and we do. If residents in these areas aren't aware of it, or if it doesn't become part of what they're conscious of, it has less value.
I think people really need to advocate for their own safety and for their community's safety, and be informed and hold people accountable.
If you look at the power of what citizen journalism did, I think we're going to see the same power of that technology in citizen science and with sensor journalism, because it puts tools and technology in the hands of folks in a really empowering way.